jugular veins. Okay. First things first. Always say the direction left or right, even though it does not appear. It doesn't appear to the right side because it's automatically our body is symmetrical. So what's in the left is on the right. Usually, most of the time. So this one is left internal jugular vein. The one that's cut is your left external jugular vein. Your left internal jugular veins go through your jugular foramen in your head, and then your left external jugular veins go superficial outside your skull, and that drains the blood from the outside skull. So again, left internal jugular vein, and then left external jugular vein. Number two, cephalic vein. Right here you see is the cephalic vein. This is what you mostly see in people that's really hot and muscular. You see their veins that goes here to the thumb. They call it cephalic vein again because cephalic means head, and once you do this position, it touches your head. That's why they call it cephalic vein. And again, it's on the left side, so we would call it left cephalic vein. Number three is the axillary vein. Right here, underarm. Axillary means on the underarm. Axillary because it comes from the word axis, and where the humerus bone and shoulder connects, that's an axis. That's why they call it axillary vein, because it goes under your arm, where like there's this axis. So axillary vein, and because it's on the right side, we're gonna call it right axillary vein. Number four is subclavian veins. We have right and left subclavian veins, but then Michelle omitted the left subclavian veins because it's too tricky for this model. But we could clearly see the right subclavian veins right here. Subclavian because sub means under, clavian clavicle. So under the clavicle, we could find a subclavian vein. Number five, brachiocephalic veins. Take note, I mentioned veins. So veins here, we have right and left. From here, before they branch out and before they become superior vena cava, we have this small section right here that we call the right brachiocephalic veins. And on the other side, we have the left brachiocephalic veins before superior vena cava and after these two branches. So from here to here is what we call the left brachiocephalic veins. So again, right brachiocephalic veins and then left brachiocephalic veins. Number six, superior vena cava. When right and left brachiocephalic veins combine or merge together to become superior vena cava. And from superior vena cava, it goes to the heart. Number seven, pulmonary veins and arteries. Okay, now we all know that arteries and veins, we always remember that veins is for the blue and arteries for the red. However, we have some inclusions and exclusions and reservations into the to the rule. Because in our lungs, always remember it's the opposite. Arteries is the blue, veins is the red. Because we always know that veins meaning the blood goes towards the heart and arteries away to the heart. So in lungs it's really tricky in case of colors because we always remember that in lungs it's gonna be the red ones, the veins, the blue ones gonna be arteries. And if she's gonna point at this, then it's gonna be your right again because it's symmetrical. So it's gonna be your right pulmonary veins. I'm talking about the red one. And the blue one is gonna be your right pulmonary arteries. And the next one would be your aorta. Your aorta is basically here, right at this, beside your superior vena cava. Inferior vena cava is from the heart, goes towards here, and it stops before they divide into two sections. So from here to here is your inferior vena cava. Thoracic aorta. Your aorta is divided into 5 types. We have aorta, ascending aorta, aortic arch, descending aorta, and when it hits the middle part of our chest, between the chest, thoracic, meaning the lungs, right here, we call that thoracic aorta. And then it goes down. After it hits the diaphragm, it becomes abdominal aorta. And after abdominal aorta, it stops here because these have different names again. So abdominal aorta until here. And then the next one, 12, celiac trunk. Your celiac tract, we always remember that celiac tract divides into three branches: the left gastric artery, the common hepatic artery, and the splenic artery. Where there, those three branches meet into one point, and then that one point right here is the celiac tract. Right here, before they branches into three, is what we call the celiac tract. It's right at this section. It's in the middle.
Okay.
The next one is your renal arteries and veins. Renal means kidneys. So just follow your kidneys. The blood vessels that goes and out from your kidneys is the renal arteries. So basically here and here. And again, because it's symmetrical, if she points at this, the blue one is going to be your left renal veins. Always remember left and right. The next one would be your suprarenal arteries and veins. Supra means above, renal means kidney. So above kidney, meaning this blood vessel right here that goes to this gland. This is a gland, if anyone interested. This is the adrenal gland. It's the one that releases adrenaline, epinephrine, or epinephrine. It's located above the kidney. The blood vessels that supplies the gland is what we call the suprarenal gland. And again, it's symmetrical, so we have the right and left. So right here, we have the left suprarenal arteries and veins. Always mention right or left in the first word. Next one is your superior mesenteric artery. So you guys remember that this right here is your celiac trunk. Right below it, the next one, this is what we call superior mesenteric artery. And right here, you go down again and you see this small lump. It's called inferior mesenteric artery. We remember mesenteric artery because mesenteric means intestines. So right on this is the superior mesenteric artery and the inferior mesenteric artery. Gonadal arteries and veins. Remember that gonadal arteries and veins, we have two types of gonadal, ovarian and testicular. If it's a male, we call it testicular, and then if it's a girl, we call it ovarian. Gonadal just means the sexual organs that produces these gametes and the sperm cells. So right here, we have two gonads. This is the artery, and this is the vein. Again, it's symmetrical, so we always have to mention right and left. So if she's talking about this one, this is going to be your left gonadal artery. If it's a male, we're going to call it left testicular artery. If this is a girl and she points at this one, for example, she asks, if this is a female and then if this is the female, what is the name of this? You guys are going to mention right ovarian artery. I mean vein. It's blue, it's vein. Okay, don't get it. Yes. The next one would be your common iliac arteries and veins. If you guys remember, after abdominal aorta and the inferior vena cava, they separate into two parts. This, from here to here, before they branches again, we call that common iliac artery, common iliac veins. Again, because it's symmetrical, we have right and left. So left common iliac artery, left common iliac vein. From here to here, we have the right ones, right common iliac artery and right common iliac vein. The next one would be your external and internal. So after your common, we call it common because they share together. After the common, they divide again into two parts. The one goes outside along the pubic bone, the os coxa, and the one that goes inside. The one that goes along your os coxa is what we call the external iliac artery and vein. So right here is the external, also here. And then we also have internal, which is the blood vessels that goes inside. So right here, we have the left internal iliac arteries and vein, and then, the right internal iliac arteries and vein, and then here, the left iliac arteries and veins. So again, it's symmetrical, so you always have to mention right and left. I always try to say right and left because Michelle is really strict about that. The next one, 21, 22, and 23 is not really important if you mention right and left because usually these three things are really unique in our body parts. The first one is phrenic artery and vein. Phrenic means diaphragm. If you go frantic, you go phrenic. We always say that because if a person gets really frantic, they breathe harder, and then what makes them breathe harder is because the diaphragm keeps contracting. So we always remember if you go frantic, you go phrenic because your diaphragm. So to get back to the subject, 21, phrenic artery and vein is basically the blood vessels that supplies blood in our diaphragm. So right here we could find the phrenic artery and vein that's under your diaphragm. and those are the one that supplies blood in our diaphragm. 22 is your thoracic lymphatic duct. It's really unique, and we could only find it here. It's the largest lymphatic duct in our body because it gets all the lymph from the lower body part to the left side of the body. So right here, it's color gray. It goes vertical, meaning up to down, is what we call the thoracic lymphatic duct. 23 is hemiazygous vein. If you guys remember from your heart, we have this weird vein that comes off from superior vena cava, and we call that azygous vein. The continuation of azygous vein is the hemiazygous vein. So from hemiazygous vein, it goes to azygous vein in superior vena cava. Again, your hemiazygous vein is this blue part, vertical, that goes up and down beside your thoracic lymphatic duct. Hemiazygous vein is more left, and thoracic lymphatic duct is more right. And thoracic lymphatic duct is color gray here, hemiazygous color blue.